Hey guys, it's Ken Scott back with another video. You guys already know that I am a senior U.S. immigration law intelligence analyst with www.usentryWaiverServices.com. So you guys are also well aware we're going to get you guys cleared to enter the USA. So I don't know where to even begin. Um, Today's video is going to be on the topic of, and I had to write this out, what's really happening at the border, a deeper dive into the issues. I tell you guys, some things just never cease to amaze me. Um, Over the past 6 weeks or so, um, the media and certain lawyers are really trying to ride the coattails of what's going on at the border in terms of sowing chaos. Most of the lawyers sowing chaos. I have no clue why they want to keep this chaos just sowing. It makes no sense to me. I almost don't know why the media keeps spinning the chaos. That almost makes no sense to me. I just don't get it. But the point I'm getting at is someone emailed me today, and this person was petrified to cross the border, and I had to look at the email again. Um, I think the person said they have a valid waiver. I believe she said that. But even if you don't have a waiver, guys, listen, Donald Trump is president right now. No ifs, ands, or buts. He's president. Donald Trump said before he got elected that he's going to put in place the largest deportation process in history. And I'm going to go on a limb and said he's done it. That's a fact. One of the things people need to understand, especially here in Canada, is that you really got to stop and think and analyze what's really happening. You just cannot go by what the media is saying. You're going to have to utilize, exercise some common sense with all of this stuff. So, like, for example, January 20th, he came out with an executive order, and I can check the dates, that he told his officers that he wants extreme vetting, which basically means, in simple terms, he wants his officers to check closely each person entering the USA. That's the simple way of explaining it. Extreme vetting. That means thorough screening. So with a thorough screening comes increased border enforcement. So what he's doing now, in one way, it's nothing new, but the other hand, it's just increased enforcement, enhanced screening. So if you go to that border and you've had like an immigration violation in Canada, wherever in the world, if you're inadmissible, they're going to turn you around, or you're going to, at minimum, you're going to be denied entry. The thing is also, each case is different. Some people may get arrested, some people may not. It's case by case. I don't want you guys being afraid to go down to that border. Now, if you got a load of, let's say, 20, 30 bricks in the trunk, then yeah, you need to be afraid because then you're going to probably be doing some hard time. If you going to the border, you've got a fake passport or you're given a fake name, yeah, you need to be afraid. But you're breaking the law. You're breaking U.S. immigration law. You're breaking the law. And when you break the law, I mean, I'm sorry, there's punishment. And a lot of these laws on the books, and I'm not saying I support Donald Trump, but a lot of these laws on the books just haven't been enforced as much in the past. And like I've said before, even if though you're Canadian, it doesn't give you a free pass to break the law, including that bird who got arrested and sent to detention for 2 weeks. And that was unfortunate. And yeah, that sucked. I agree with her, but she still broke the law. She did it. They didn't do it. She did it. So because you're Canadian, you don't get a free pass. Same token, you having a valid U.S. waiver, you get out to that port of entry as long as you have no violations whatsoever, no new violations, same violation. There's nothing else in the system they can use against you. You're fine. You can go in. You could have been an ex-drug trafficker and you have a waiver. As long as there's no new violations, there's nothing else in your past that hasn't been accounted for, you're good to go. You can enter the US, go shopping, Vegas, whatever. I know the Canadian dollar being low might deter some people, and some people might say solidarity against the terrorists, but come on, let's be real. A lot of it is because the Canadian dollar is so much lower. And I'm sure the political part, you know, plays somewhat of a role. But I'm almost willing to bet one of the larger parts is the dollar factor if it's lower. And also because the economy of what's happened here because of how things were in the past, and I'll just leave it at that. So the end result is a lot of people here in British Columbia or Canada, but British Columbia, their money is very tight. So I get that. But my main point for this video is I don't want you guys being afraid to go down to that border. If you got your act together, everything's good to go, and CBP has nothing they can use against you, you're not going to get arrested and you're not going to be put in shackles. You're not. They have to have a valid reason to do all this stuff, guys. If there's no valid reason in the system or in your background, you're fine. I just don't like the media sowing chaos because, like I said in the other video, it just really hurts the average person. You've got no reason to be afraid. Now, if you got sketchy stuff in your background, okay, come see us. We'll make sure that's good to go before you go down there. We're also going to offer another service here, I'm thinking, where we're going to use the same tools, techniques that CBP does in terms of how they do their screening, because I know how they do their screening. I know their behind the scenes stuff. So I'm thinking maybe that's a good service we can offer you guys. So give you guys like peace of mind. And I had to get my brother on this one since he retired from the US government in 2022. So this one I have to bring him in on for this. But because of our diverse background, this stuff's a no-brainer to us. And that's why, as of today, which is April 1st, 2024, 2025, we are still at a 100% success rate for these waivers. As of today, it may change tomorrow, but as of today, we're still at 100% success. So, guys, the bottom line is, and this is kind of tailored to that person who emailed afraid to cross. If you have a valid waiver and everything else is fine in your life, there's no drug problem. You don't ride around here with dime bags or whatever in your car, or you're not getting in trouble, running from the police, that kind of stuff. You're going to be fine crossing that border. And if you're the average Joe, let's say you're a UPS driver and you got no criminal history, you just want to take your family to Bellingham for, a day or two just to relax and shop. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, if you're going to bring down like a couple of bowls with you to, smoke a bowl there, then yeah, you're going to get jammed up, going to get jacked up. But guys, in all honesty, a lot of this is just basic common sense. You don't take a bowl across the border. You don't try to go down there. And a few days prior, your buddies were in your car and they dropped a couple of roaches, whatever. What do you guys expect if you do that and they catch it? They're not going to have any mercy. So long as you got your act together, everything's good to go straight. Yeah, they might pull you in for secondary. Big deal. They ask a couple of questions like, where do you live? Where do you do for work? Tell them, fine, I'm a UPS driver and I live in Delta. His wife, we have two kids. We would like to go shopping in Bellingham for the day with your permission. What's so hard about that? More than likely, he's going to say, okay, that's fine. You've never had any charges or convictions. You don't have anything to worry about. So, bottom line is with this, as long as your stuff is together and you got nothing else to worry about, there's nothing else in the past that could come back to bite you. Don't be afraid to cross that border. Stop believing the bullshit perpetuated by these lawyers saying, oh, the sky's falling. Oh, you could get shackled. Well, you know what? An asteroid could fall from the sky. A bus could come crashing through a gate. That's just life. Something in life you just cannot predict. If I ask you what's going to be the numbers tomorrow for Lotto 649, I don't think any of you guys are going to know it. If you do know it, just tell me the numbers so I can cash in. But again, guys, a lot of this stuff is basic common sense. Don't be afraid. Make sure your stuff is together, your act's together. And if it's not together, give us a shout at 604-562-8140, and we'll take care of you. We'll fix that for the most part. And you're fine. So either way, you're going to be good to go. Remember, being a former law enforcement officer, a former federal officer, I know what they can and cannot do to you. I know how they operate. I know how they think. Part of me has that same mindset, and I use that to help get you guys cleared to enter USA. Stop listening to these idiotic lawyers who are trying to sow fear and chaos. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know why they're actually doing it, to be honest. That's just stupid. And this always happens to her. I can help you. No, probably spam. But anyway, guys, just take a deep breath, relax, and just think good, positive thoughts. You go down to that border, don't worry about it. As long as your act is together here in Canada, as long as you got all your paperwork in order, you won't have any issues. But if your stuff's not in order, don't go down there with your stuff that's in a state of disarray. Come see us first, or most get your stuff squared away before you go. It's simple. So stop believing what these lawyers are telling you in the media. A lot of them have the brains of a flea anyway. Real talk from Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst. And remember, you guys know how to reach us. We've been helping you guys get cleared to enter the USA for some time now. We're going to keep it up. We're not closing down. We have more than enough work. So, guys, don't worry about it. We are always there for you. But stop believing the bullshit from what these lawyers are putting out in the media, and to a degree, what the media is saying. Yes, if you violate the law, you could get in trouble. If you don't violate the law, there's no violations. They can't do anything to you. And remember that. And I'm out.